All right, if you've been following the tour, you know the clay court curse is officially getting tested on the grandest stage of them all today. Welcome to The Explainer. We're looking at the 2026 French Open first-round clash between Eala and Iva Jovic. And we aren't just treating this as a standard match, we're treating it as a high-end technical masterclass. We're going to break down the biomechanics, the rolling WTA math, and the sheer technical grit you absolutely have to survive the crushed red brick of Paris. Because as you know, this isn't just about who hits the heaviest ball, it's about who can geometrically outmaneuver their opponent in the sport's most grueling environment.
But before we even touch the physics of the court, we've got to talk about the human element here. Because here's a massive pattern interrupt for you. Just days ago, these two players were literally sharing a birthday cake on a training court right here at Roland Garros. I mean, earlier this year, they teamed up to reach the ASB Classic doubles semis, pulling off some massive upsets together. So they aren't just colleagues on the tour, right? They're genuinely close friends. But the brutal reality of pro tennis means that today only one of them survives the opening round. One friend is quite literally contractually obligated to try and eliminate the other. Now, what's really interesting about this is how it frames the emotional stakes of the matchup. It's that classic friend versus foe dynamic. And look, for those of you who know the game inside and out, you know that playing a friend completely flips the psychology of a match. The emotional control it takes to just separate your off-court bond from your on-court killer instinct, it's immense. The camaraderie, the shared practices, all those inside jokes, Eala and Jovic are going to have to put absolutely all of it on hold the very second their sneakers touch that clay. It becomes purely business.
Section 1. Eala's clay trajectory analyzed.
If you've been tracking Eala's timeline, you can see how this paints a picture of her rolling 52-week ranking math. You definitely saw that massive 16-spot drop back in March. Why did that happen? Well, she was defending massive semifinal points from Miami the previous year, and when she bowed out in the round of 16 this year, those points just vanished from the ledger. She dropped all the way down to world number 45. Honestly, the psychological weight of a drop like that, it could derail a player's entire season. But Eala didn't panic. She just gritted her teeth through the notoriously brutal clay swing and managed a huge breakthrough run to the round of 32 at the Italian Open. That salvaged her points, rocketing her right back up to her current standing at number 38.
1,340. That highly specific number is Eala's exact WTA ranking points heading into Roland Garros today. This is it. This is her foundational baseline. There's no guesswork here. Every single swing of the racket from here on out, every break point she saves, every single return winner she strikes, it's all about building on this exact mathematical foundation to climb back into that elite territory.
Okay, let's dive into this. A 4-5 overall record on the dirt. The numbers definitely tell a story of sheer grit, but, also some vulnerability. She's kind of struggled with consistency on the dirt, having to absorb some really frustrating early exits at Stuttgart, Madrid, and Strasbourg. But look right there in the middle at Rome. She didn't just reach the round of 32, she pushed world number 2 Elena Rybakina incredibly hard in a super tight two-setter. And we all know Rybakina has one of the most terrifying, heavy-hitting baseline games in the world, so to absorb that 120-mile-per-hour pace on clay and push her to 4.636, that proves something absolutely vital. It proves that when Eala's lateral defense and counterpunching actually click on the dirt, she has the raw tactical firepower to threaten the absolute elite.
Section 2. Jovic, the multi-sport prodigy. Now, sitting across the net today isn't just any unseeded player. Iva Jovic is currently the youngest player in the top 100, sitting at a frankly intimidating world number 17. She kicked off her 2026 season with a blistering 14-6 start, which of course was highlighted by that massive commanding run to the Australian Open quarterfinals. But for today's match specifically, the absolute most crucial stat is her 17-6 career win-loss record on clay. Oh, and if that pedigree wasn't enough, she's currently receiving strategic mentorship from none other than Novak Djokovic. I mean, having the greatest champion in the history of the sport actively molding your competitive mindset, that is just an unquantifiable advantage.
So what exactly makes Jovic so lethal on this specific surface? It's her multi-sport background. Growing up playing high-level youth soccer fundamentally wired her kinetic chain for the exact type of movement you need on red clay. You see it all the time. A lot of hardcourt specialists look like they're literally playing on ice when they step onto the dirt, right? Stumbling around, losing their balance, struggling to plan. But Jovic's soccer footwork translates into this fluid, highly adaptable sliding. She inherently knows how to decelerate into a shot using her lower body. She isn't fighting the friction of the court, she's weaponizing it.
Section 3. Tactical clash on the dirt.
And this brilliantly illustrates the ultimate style clash we're looking at. Think of Iga as a highly tuned, high-speed sports car. She relies heavily on hard-court aggression, taking the ball early on the rise, hitting it super flat, piercing right through the court, and just thriving on that high-speed rhythm. Jovic, on the other hand, she's built like an all-terrain vehicle. Her soccer-driven footwork and fluid adaptability mean she can absorb massive pace, dig out heavy topspin, and really thrive in the heavy, grinding movement of a clay rally. The heavy crushed brick of Paris is naturally going to neutralize Eala's sports car speed by making the ball bounce higher and slower, while perfectly complementing Jovic's all-terrain grinding mechanics.
Now you might be wondering, wait a second, didn't Eala grow up training at the Rafa Nadal Academy in Spain? Shouldn't she naturally be a master on the clay? Well, this is what we call the Rafa Nadal Academy paradox. Yes, intellectually, Eala's brain completely understands the physics of heavy topspin, slide stepping, and clay court geometry. She's seen it executed perfectly for years. But tennis, at its core, is a game of nervous systems. Her biological fast-twitch muscle memory instinctively screams at her to step inside the baseline and take the ball aggressively on the rise. So to win on clay, she has to actively fight her own biological instincts. She has to dig deep and find the immense, grueling discipline to grind out a 20-shot rally instead of just pulling the trigger for a winner way too early.
Section 4. The road to top 10.
0. That is exactly how many ranking points Alex Eala is defending at this year's French Open. Last year, she made her Grand Slam main draw debut here, but unfortunately suffered a really tough first-round exit against Emiliana Arango.
So the crucial point here is that because she has 0 points holding her back from last year, she is playing with absolute freedom. I mean, she literally cannot lose ranking points this week. Every single game, set, and match she wins in Paris is pure, unadulterated ranking profit. It's a wide-open mathematical window for her to skyrocket up the global rankings. She's totally unburdened by that heavy pressure that usually crushes defending champions. If she can just solve the puzzle of her absolutely hardest surface and take down an established top 20 player like Jovic, man, it acts as a massive catapult on her road to the top 10. The stakes might seem microscopic for a first-round match, but they are macroscopic for her overall career trajectory.
Section 5. Who wins the mud fight?
Well, the algorithms have weighed in, and honestly, they are utterly unsentimental. This Stats Insider machine learning projection, which is based on 10,000 data-driven simulations that factor in surface data, recent form, and ELO ratings, projects Iva Jovic as the heavy favorite with a 72% win probability. That leaves Alex Eala with just a 28% chance of advancing. It's definitely a jarring, lopsided number. But as anyone who actually watches professional tennis knows, algorithms can't measure human heart, and they certainly cannot measure desperation. Eala has a documented, incredible history of giant slaying. She defies the odds, takes down Grand Slam champions, and pushes the world's absolute elite when her back is completely against the wall. Which leaves us with the ultimate question. Will Eala's renowned Poussons Palaban, that famous fighting spirit of hers, be enough to override her own hardcore DNA and defy that 72% machine learning probability? Or is Jovic's natural multi-sport clay court pedigree, backed by that Djokovic mindset, going to prove entirely too much to handle? I really want to hear from the experts watching this. Jump into the comments right now and debate the styles. Who do you predict is going to win this career-defining crucible today? Let me know your tactical breakdowns below, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.
Comment, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.